If you're watching the recording, you missed the first few minutes because Mrs. Kneifel forgot to record. Thanks, Cadence, for reminding me. But anyways, Stacy buys 3 CDs in a set for $31.88. She saved $6.64 by buying them as a set. That means together instead of individually. How much would each CD cost if you bought them individually instead of in a set? I'm going to give you guys maybe 2 more minutes. I still see some people writing, okay? So don't rush. No big deal. Do your personal best. I don't want to see your board yet because I want everyone to have a chance to do it. My mask smells like laundry today. Nice, clean laundry. What? Well, that's because you did it wrong. All right. So, fun fact. Not fun fact, but let's get started. Would someone like to tell me what step number 1 is? Raise your hand in the little raise your hand button if you want to tell me what I should do first. What should Mrs. Kneifel do for step 1? Raise your hand. Paisley, what should Mrs. Kneifel do first? Unmute yourself and tell me. Step 1.
You're going to add 31.88 plus 6.64.
I agree with that. I'm going to add these 2 numbers together because this is what I saved. If I bought them individually, I wouldn't have saved anything. So you have to add these 2 numbers. So 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry my 1. 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 1 is 15. Carry my 1. Remember, we're just adding, so I can bring my decimal straight down. 6 plus 1 is 8, and 3 straight down. So now I have $38.52, $38.52. What is step 2? I need someone to raise their hand to tell me what step 2 is. Abigail, I see your hand is up. What should I do next?
Divide 3 divided by 38.52.
I do agree with that. So I'm going to take my whole number. So I have $38.52, and I'm going to divide it. Sorry, I had to make space on my board. I'm going to divide it by the 3 CDs. Just like that. So 3 goes into 3 how many times? Once. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Bring down my 8. How many times can 3 go into 8? Twice. 3 times 2 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Bring down my 5. How many times can 3 go into 25? It can go into 25 8 times, which is 24. 1. Bring down my 2. 3 can go into 12 4 times. And 12 minus 12 is 0. I threw my decimal up there. Each CD is $12.84. Are there any questions on how that problem was solved? All right, I'm going to type it into our little thing and see if we're correct. $12.84. Woo! We are so smart. Go us. All right. Moving on to the next one. Mrs. Kneifel needs to plug in her Chromebook. That's besides the point, though. Okay. This looks a little bit long. So. Oh, look at that zoom. All right. Sorry. I'm having trouble seeing my computer screen today. All right. It says, a school cafeteria sold 1,920 pieces of pizza the first week. So I'm going to put 1W. The 960 the second week. And 480 the third week. If this pattern continues, in what week will the cafeteria sell 60 slices? Complete the explanation of how you will get your answer. So here we're looking for a pattern, and we're dividing by something. So a rule for a pattern is divide by blank. So you use the rule until you got to blank. So the cafeteria will sell 60 slices in blank week. So this one right here, we know is going to be till we got to 60. So first, we just need to figure out the rule is what we need to do first. So the first thing we have to do is figure out the rule. Oh, I just erased my board. Why did I do that? The first thing we have to do is figure out the rule. Would anyone like to tell me maybe what I should do? Anyone? Anyone? Maybe what's our rule? What are we dividing by? Well, first, we have 1,900, then we have 900, and then we have 400, and then we have to go down to 60. So anyone, just give me a number. What are we maybe dividing by? This is kind of like a guess and check in Mrs. Knifel's opinion. Like, that's what I would do. What are we dividing by maybe to get to 900? These really aren't that far off. Like 900 is really close to 1,000, and this one's really close to 2,000. So maybe what are we dividing by, Paisley?
60.
I'm going to let you know it's not 60. We're looking for a tiny number. All right, like I said, Mrs. Knifel's just going to show you how I would do this maybe. Like I said, these are very close, like not that far apart. This one is really close to 1,000, and this one's really close to 2,000. So Mrs. Knifel's going to try to divide by 2, okay? I'm just guessing that, okay? That's what Mrs. Kneifel instantly thinks of. So 2 divided by 1 can't do it. 2 divided by 19 is, hold on, Mia. 9, which is 18. Bring down my 1, bring down my 12, which is 6, which is 12. 0, bring down my 0, goes in 0 time. Oh, look, if I divide by 2, I get 960, which is our other number. And if you guys look at Mia's screen, she just did 1,920 divided by 960 and got 2. So you could have done it either way to know we were dividing by 2. So let's make sure that's our rule. Let me do our next number. 960 divided by 2. Is that going to equal 480? Well, we're going to have to find out. So that would go in 4 times, which is 8, 1, 16, 8. Yeah. So our rule is divided by 2, okay? So each week we're dividing by 2. So now we have to figure out when we only have 60 slices left. So we're going to have to keep on dividing each number by 2 until we get the correct number. So Mrs. Knifel's just going to write a nice little pattern until we get down to 60. So now we need to divide week 3 by 2 to get week 4. So that would be 480 divided by 2, which would go into, what should be, is that right? Just kidding. Mrs. Knifel's getting off on her math. 4, bring down my 2. So 480 divided by 2 is what? $480 divided by 2 is what? Anyone? Can someone tell me? What is 480 divided by 2? Raise your hand. Mia? I didn't hear you, Mia. 480 divided by 2. You just had it on your board. Okay. 240. So in week 4, it was 240. Now let's try week 5. So now you need to divide week 5 by 2. So now it's 240 divided by 2. Everyone should be doing 240 divided by 2. Because our rule is by 2. Cadence.
It would equal 120.
Yep. All right. Now, that's not 60 yet, so now we need to go on to week 6. So now it's 120 divided by 2. Everyone needs to do that. Isabel H.
60.
Yay, we made it. So And what week are they down to 60? Week 6. Da-da-da. Yay, we win. Yay, everyone's happy. That was definitely a tough problem, but you guys did a good job. Mia, you did a good job just dividing to try it out. Mrs. Kneifel did it by 2 because I just saw that the numbers were like one was almost 1,000, one was almost 2,000. Like that just makes sense in my brain. They're like halves. All right, final problem of the day. Oh, it's a video. Oh no, how do I make the video play? Can you guys hear that? No? Huh. No. Why is it not playing?
I can see it, but I can't hear it.
No, I don't. Sir, I don't have it on mute. Nolan? Where? That is not mute.
Usually, yeah, even when I do it, like on my math problems, it doesn't have sound. Usually they don't have sound, they just play the video.
Total spent $28.40. Books 4 for $5.53. Folders 3 for something. Sales tax $163. Total 2 blah blah blah. So the cost of sales tax we can see right here. Sales tax is $163. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Okay, does everyone see that? Because I see it right here, $163. And now we know books are 4 for $5.53. So let's just divide that. So 553 divided by 4, because that's what's on that little piece of paper. You might have trouble seeing that little piece of paper on your screen, but that's what it says. So 4 can go into 5 one time. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down my 5. 4 can go into 5 3 times, which is 12. 3 left. Bring down my 3 is, how many times can 4 go into 30? 6 times? No, 8 times. What? Yes, it can go in 8 times, which is 32. And there's a 1. Bring down my 0. Can go in 2 times, which would be 8. And then there's 2 left. Anyways, we would eventually round. It would just keep going. But I would put my decimal in here. So I got 138. No, not 138. 138. And that is a choice. Right here. So that's how we know how much each book cost. Okay? So now we have to figure out how much the folders are. We do not know how much the folders are, okay? So to find out how much the folders are, we're going to do some subtraction. So we know we spent $28 total. Well, $28.40. We're going to subtract our sales tax from it. And our sales tax was $1.63, okay? So I'm just going to subtract that right now. So now we have $26.77, okay? Now I'm going to subtract our books. We bought 4 books for $5.35. So now I'm going to subtract $5.35, which is 2, 4, 1. Now I have $21.42. Now I need to divide that for the cost of each folder, okay? So I'm going to divide what is left for the cost of each folder, which I feel like, oh wait, Mrs. Kneifel's doing this wrong. Oh no, I read the problem wrong. All right, backtrack. Sorry. It was 4 for $5.53 each. It was not, we did not, I know, Paisley, I literally just said that. I read the problem wrong. So each book is $5.53. That was my bad. So instead of dividing 5.53, we need to multiply that by 4 because we bought 4 books. So that was my bad. So instead of dividing that number, we have to multiply because each book costs $5.53. So let's times that by 4, which would be 12, 21, 22. So the books cost $22.12. Okay. Now we're going to add the sales tax to that. Our sales tax was $1.63. So far we have spent $23.75. Okay? So now we need to find out how much we have left to divide for the folder. So our total was $28.40. And so far we have spent $23.75. Okay? So this is our new problem. We're going to subtract our total from what we've already spent to see how much we have left to divide by the folders, okay? So, I'm going to do some regular subtraction. So we have $4.65 left. Okay, $4.65. 13 minus 7 is 5, Mia. All right, so now we have $4.65, and we have to divide it by 3 folders, okay? Because it says on the little thing right here, 3 folders. So 465 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time, which is 3. 1 left. 3 can go into 16 5 times, which is 15. 1 left. Bring down my 5, and it can go in 5 times, which is 15. 155, yeah. Which happens to be our answer. So we're saying each book cost $5.53, which we found out from the piece of paper. And then we're saying our sales tax was $1.63, which is also on the paper. The only thing we had to find out was that each folder costs $1.55. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. We win. Oh, Mrs. Kneiffel's so happy. That was rough. It's a long problem, friends. Does anyone have a problem off the top of their head that they want to do right now? Or does anyone have any questions about what we did? I know those are all long problems, but you guys did a good job working them out. Those are just the working backwards problems that you guys really wanted to do. I'm pretty sure you guys have a math test today. So make sure to use a dry erase board, use a marker, or use paper and pencil. You have to work out the problems. None of you guys are magic, so you cannot figure it out on your own, okay? All right, Mia, it's going to be a little bit easier because Mrs. Kneifel can't think of crazy numbers off the top of her head. But let's say I bought 5 books for $2, okay? 5 books for $2. And my sales tax was $2.50, okay? And my total was $30. How about we just find how much I have left, okay? Find out how much money I have, like what I spent on another thing. So there's something else I bought, and we want to know how much money I spent on what else I bought, okay? So my total is $30, sales tax, and I bought 5 books for $2 each, okay? So if you were to do this, the first thing Mrs. Kneifel would do would find out how much we spent on books. Well, 2 times 5 is $10. We know that, right? So then I would do 30 minus 10, which now I have $20. And then I would subtract my sales tax, which is $2.50. So now I have $17.50. Okay, so that is how we would do that. You would just subtract those numbers. I don't have another number for what we could buy because Mrs. Kneifel cannot think of those long problems. You have to really know what, like the numbers and stuff. But I totally have faith in you guys. You just need to use your time, okay? Like the problem is when you guys make mistakes when I see your boards, it is because you rushed or you made a silly like multiplication error or a silly like addition or subtraction error. You guys are totally capable of doing well on your problem today. I know for a fact all of you guys know how to do division problems. You just have to do it. Remember to move your decimals and things like that. Good luck. Also, while I have you on here, in case you're one of these people Let's see who's on here. Ariana, you have to finish your NWEA today. Go take it. Isabel Hanlon, you'll finish it today. And I don't think anyone else is on here that hasn't already finished it. Just do your personal best on the test today. I believe in you, peeps. You guys are free to go. We have about 2 or 4 minutes until it's done. Is for reading? Yes, Isabella. I already told you you're gonna finish it in reading class, okay? So don't worry about it. I just said your name because you were on the list, okay? You guys are free to go. I will see you all in reading class. Ta-ta.
Bye.
No, we're not taking the math NWEA this week. Just reading.